Right. So much about plasma. So let's move on to the next type of blood cell, which is red blood cells. Okay. Red blood cells, right, comprise 99% of cells in the blood. Okay. So if you can recall, right, in the previous slide, okay, the 45% of the blood, right, comprise of red blood cells and white blood cell. And out of this 45% of the blood, the red blood cells and white blood cell, right, red blood cell will actually comprise a lot more, which is about 99%. So leaving only 1% of this either white blood cells or platelets, okay, in this particular component, okay, 45%. All right, so I was talking about red blood cell. Okay, red blood cell, right, comprise of 99% of cells in the blood. It's actually produced in the bone marrow, right, in our bone. There's this bone marrow, right? And after about 2 to 3 months, you'll be destroyed in the spleen. Okay, the spleen is actually in the liver. It will destroy in the spleen. And so, as I mentioned, right, it has a lifespan of 120 days, which is about 3 months, 2 to 3 months. Should be exact, should be 3 months lah. 120 divided by 30, sorry, it's actually 4 months. So because 1 month is 30 days, so yeah, 4 months. All right. So the lifespan of the red blood cells is about 4 months, 120 days. So that's why it's important that um the red blood cells every 4 months, right, we actually produce new red blood cells, right? So how does a red blood cells look like? How is so special about red blood cells? Okay, red blood cell, one thing for to take note is red. Why is it red? Because it's comprised of the red pigment, okay, which is hemoglobin. It's a red pigment, and it's actually found in the red blood cell. And this is a sectional view. This is how it looks like. The surface view, you can see that there's a depression over here, so that's why we call this a biconcave shape. Okay, it's a biconcave shape. That means it's like the depression at the middle of the red blood cell. And one thing to take note, it doesn't have nucleus. That's also the reason why red blood cell there's a limited lifespan of about 4 months, and after that they will actually be destroyed, and we need to regenerate new red blood cells. Okay, and because of the absent nucleus, it allows more hemoglobin to be packed into the cell. So there's a lot of hemoglobin molecule, the red pigment, inside the red blood cell. Right. So just like I mentioned, it's actually called the biconcave shape that increase the surface area to volume ratio. So there'll be a lot of oxygen that can diffuse and bind in with hemoglobin in the red blood cell. So and one another point to take note is actually elastic. So the red blood cell is actually elastic, meaning that it's enable the cells to squeeze through tiny blood capillaries. It's actually very, very elastic. So you can squeeze and squeeze through the tiny capillaries, can change the shape. All right. So it's actually elastic. So this is actually the features of the red blood cell. And these features, right, enable the red blood cells to carry out its function, which is carry the oxygen to the best of its ability. All right, all these special features, four of them in fact, they having this hemoglobin, this absent of nucleus, it actually has a biconcave shape, and it's actually elastic. Right. So so much about red blood cell. Okay, hold on. Just now we talk about biconcave shape, meaning that it's actually there's a depression. It's thinner. The center of the cell is thinner than the edges. All right, it's thinner than the edges. Right. The next cell that we're looking at is actually white blood cells. Okay, white blood cell, right, is larger than red blood cells and it's fewer in numbers, as I mentioned, right? Among the blood cells, red blood cell comprise of 99%. The 1% is actually white blood cells or the platelets, right? And same thing, white blood cell is produced in the bone marrow, and the same thing is also destroyed in the spleen. But limited lifespan of only about a few days for red blood cells. We need to keep on generating the white blood cell. But one thing to take note, white blood cells, right, it has its own nucleus. Okay, it has its own nucleus and it's colorless. So because it doesn't contain hemoglobin, so that's why we call it white blood cell. But in fact, it's actually colorless. Okay, if you really look it in a microscopic level, right, the white blood cell is actually colorless. It's not white. Okay, it's colorless. Right, it's irregular shape and it contains a nucleus.